as you can see, autumn is definitely in the air. As autumn arrives, the weather changes, everything at the moment is I think the word I'm looking for is damp. Everything at the moment is very damp. Hi everybody, here we go again. It's English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language. We know where it is, you know where it is, we all know where it is. I know, I definitely know. It's England. We are back together. It is Wednesday and it's very nice to see you here again. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I always ask this question because I am concerned whether or not you are happy. I hope you are feeling happy today. It is a nice day in the studio. At least it's not raining in here. Not yet, anyway. One of my biggest fears, can I just tell you about one of my biggest fears? The roof of my studio is quite old, and one of my biggest fears is that one day there will be a leak up there. Maybe a hole will appear in my roof and perhaps, well, you know the rest. The water will start coming in and maybe I will discover it too late. Maybe the water will go onto my lovely expensive equipment and destroy it. So that is one of my worries about here in this room, this tiny little room in Much Wenlock. I always fear that one day, especially at the moment because we are having so much rain, like most people across Europe, we are having a lot of rain at the moment. So I do worry about that, but I suppose if it happens, it happens. For the time being, it isn't happening, fortunately. My name is Duncan. I talk about English. I like the English language. You might say I'm one of these, you see. Can you see what it says? I am an English addict. Are you? I wonder if you are. Well, at least you are here. So maybe you are an English addict. I woke up this morning feeling really energized. I don't know why. I would say today I feel vital. I feel vital. That is my mood today on the live stream. So it might be very, very exciting here today. When we talk about vital, of course, it can mean having lots of energy or life. Vital, of course, can also mean something that is important or necessary. Maybe if you are having a medical check, they might check your vital functions, things you need, the things you need to survive and live and stay alive. So I do feel rather vital today. Of course, while we're talking about it, vital is the adjective that I'm using there to be full of energy, full of life, full of enthusiasm, maybe. And of course, vitality is the noun that names that feeling. So I suppose I would say that I have a lot of vitality today. I feel vital. I have a lot of energy, and I hope you do as well. Can I share something with you? This week I've had a very busy week here because I'm doing lots of different things, helping some people out. The other night I had to stay up almost all night doing some work. When was the last time you stayed up all night to do something? Maybe in your work, maybe you had a project you had to finish. Perhaps you are about to take an exam, some sort of important test. Maybe you spent the whole night awake, revising and looking at your textbooks. So it is possible to stay up for a very long period of time if you have something important to do. And I have to say, it's been a long time since I've done that. So a couple of nights ago, I did stay up until very late doing some work. And I have to say, the next day I did feel quite tired because my body is not used to it. I'm not as young as I used to be. Many years ago, I could stay up all night and not worry about it. And even the next day, the following day, I would still be okay. It wouldn't bother me in any way. But these days, all I can say is it's not quite the same, to be honest. I suppose it comes to all of us. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here today. Oh, I wonder who was first. Let's have a look, shall we? Ooh. Oh, interesting. Now, you were not here on Sunday. We were all worried about you, but you are back today. You are top of the list. You are the man with the fast finger. Vitas, congratulations. You are first on today's live chat. We have a hot show for you today. Lots of hot topics. In fact, today's show is so hot you might need these to watch today's edition of English Addict. You might need to have a pair of these nearby, some oven gloves, because we have a lot of hot topics to talk about today, including words and phrases connected to stand. The word stand can be used in many different ways. In a few moments, we will be looking at the word that defines fortune, good fortune, bad fortune, maybe the way your life is going in a certain direction, maybe good things are happening, perhaps bad things are happening, maybe a little bit of both, which I suppose is most of us. Most of us on this planet have something happening that might be good and exciting, and something that might not be good or exciting. So I think it does depend. But I wonder where Vitas was on Sunday. We did miss you. And I did ask, I did put out a call. Does anyone know where he is? So I'm glad to see you back here on the top of the pile. Hello, Javi Teen, who is watching in Peru. There is a movie coming out soon with Paddington Bear. Have you ever heard of Paddington Bear? Very famous because of the appearance he made with the Queen of England a couple of years ago. In fact, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago now when he did that. And of course, a famous character from children's books. There is a new movie coming out soon with Paddington Bear. Do you know where he normally lives? Do you know where he comes from? He actually comes from Peru, which is why I just mentioned it. So I hope there are lots of friendly bears where you are watching in Peru. Who else is here today? We also have Claudia. Hello, Claudia. Nice to see you back as well. Irene is here. Hello, Irene. We are all here together today to have a little bit of relaxation, maybe, a little bit of fun, maybe a few smiles. So I hope we can help your day go well. Also, Florence is here. El Habib is here. There is a hurricane in Florida. Apparently it is the worst in the last 100 years. Parts of the United States do have hurricanes at this time of year. They even name the season as the hurricane season. But yes, there are some rather bad storms occurring at the moment in the USA, and we've had quite a few here across Europe as well. Not as bad as the United States, but still quite serious. Hello, Abdullah Jamil. Hello, Mr. Duncan. This is Rai from Pakistan. I am a new subscriber. You will be happy to know that a couple of days ago, when I asked Meta to refer me to a good English speaker, it mentioned you. I've heard this. Quite a few people have said that Mr. Duncan is the best English teacher on YouTube. That's not me saying that. That is AI saying it. And who am I to argue with artificial intelligence? I'm not going to argue with it, because one day it might be ruling the universe and telling me what to do. So please remember that. All of those robots that will eventually take over the planet, remember, I was on your side. Thank you very much for that recommendation. Anyway, thank you very much. It's very nice to know that. Who else is here? Oh, you know who is here today. Ah, yes, he is back. It is Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you here today. It's very nice to see you back. I don't know if you can see them, but my eyes at the moment are very dark underneath. And you know why? Because I lost quite a lot of sleep the other night. I was staying up all night doing some work. But I have to say, my body is now protesting. It's very annoying when that happens. When I was 17, I could go out, I could have fun, I could go to a disco, I could stay up all night, chatting and having fun. But not anymore, unfortunately. Those days have definitely gone. We are looking at the subject of luck, good luck, bad luck. Is it possible to be lucky in life? Is it possible for us to be lucky? Because when you look around you, when you look at other people, it sometimes appears as if some people always have good luck, whilst other people seem to have lots of bad luck. Is it true? Or do we make our own luck in this world? Hello, Maurizio, who is only staying for a short time, I wonder. So are we going to find out what happened on Sunday? Where were you, Vitas? Please let us know. Thank you very much. Perhaps you've already told us, but the problem is the live chat often moves very quickly. That's the reason why. Beatrice is here. Hello, Beatrice. I believe now you are back at normal altitude. You were in the mountains, but now you are down on the ground again. I hope you are having a good day today. Apparently, Beatrice does not like AI. I have to say, I like it. I like it. It can be very helpful. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes it can. Hello to the live chat and everyone who is joining right now. We have Clineo Souza is here right now, watching in the United States, in New England. Hello New England. This is Mr. Duncan in Old England. Very old, in fact. My neighbour originally lived in the United States, in New England. That is where she comes from. She has a very distinctive accent. And apparently, she said the first time I ever met my new neighbour, all those years ago when I first moved here, her accent is a little different from the usual American accent. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I do remember that she said that she does have a New England accent. I'm not sure what that actually means, but I can tell when I hear her voice. I can tell that her accent is a little different from what I would normally expect from a person in the United States. Anyway, hello, Clenio. I hope you are enjoying today's live stream. We are doing a lot here today. Would you say you are lucky in life? You are lucky in your job? Are you lucky in love? Oh, Mr. Duncan. Some people seem to have good luck all the time. Some people seem to always find luck wherever they go. There are some people who play the lottery and they've won the lottery 3 or 4 times. How do they do that? What is their secret? Do they have a secret system? So we will quickly look at a subject that I think is rather interesting, the subject of luck. What is luck? How do we express the feeling of luck? Or maybe the opposite. Maybe you don't have much luck. Maybe you have bad luck. So the word is often used when we are talking about something good happening. Do we make our luck, or are we just lucky? I know some people who always seem to have problems in their life, difficult situations, bad luck. And I also know other people who every day seem to have nice things happening to them, wonderful moments of time, maybe things or opportunities that come their way. It's very strange, isn't it? But do we make our luck, or are we just lucky people? There is, of course, the phrase that people often use. Many people say that some people are born lucky. Is it true? Some people can, I suppose. They appear to have been born lucky. Maybe they were born into a rich family, a wealthy family. Maybe they live in a very nice house. Maybe their childhood was spent in very nice conditions. So a person might appear to be born lucky. It doesn't necessarily mean their life will always be lucky. They might still have misfortune as they go through life. Of course, we can express luck as good luck, bad luck. You can be lucky or unlucky. And I think generally in life we all experience both of these things. Sometimes things will go well. Sometimes things will go smoothly. Sometimes you might have good fortune. Something nice happens. Something good occurs. Of course, it doesn't always happen. We can have fortune. When we talk about fortune, it is a direction of having good luck. So you have fortune. Something good happens. Maybe a moment of time where an opportunity will come your way. Or perhaps you win some money. Maybe you like to play the lottery and you win the lottery, you win the jackpot. You might have fortune. So we can describe fortune as being lucky. You have good luck. You have fortune or good fortune. Of course, there is the opposite. You can also have misfortune, an unfortunate accident, a moment where things go wrong, something happens that is negative. It is misfortune. So, put simply, fortune is good luck, good things. Misfortune is bad luck or unpleasant things occurring. A person who has a lot of luck might be described as fortunate. A fortunate person is lucky. They have a comfortable life. They seem happy. They are fortunate. And then, of course, we can describe a person who always seems to have bad luck as unfortunate, an unfortunate man, an unfortunate woman, an unfortunate situation. Something negative is happening. A person who often suffers bad luck can be described as unfortunate. That person always seems to have problems in their life. Here's an interesting phrase using the word luck. We can say luck of the draw. If you have the luck of the draw, it means you are the lucky one. You are the person who has gained something positive. The luck of the draw sometimes refers to the chance of something happening. Maybe you will win. Maybe you will lose. It all depends on the luck of the draw. The outcome is still unknown. That is one of the reasons why I never gamble. To be honest with you, I am not a gambler. I don't like to bet. I don't play the lottery. I don't do anything like that, to be honest. So I don't really follow that sort of habit of gambling. The other problem, of course, is it can become a problem. If you gamble and you win, there is always a temptation to do it more. But of course, the next time you do it, you might lose. So you play again because you want to win that money back. So maybe you win sometimes and maybe sometimes you lose. There is a phrase in English. Some you win, some you lose. In life, there might be moments where you have good luck and moments where you have bad luck. It is all down to the luck of the draw. We really don't know how things will turn out, whether things will be good or bad. You might wish for luck. You might pray for luck. You might keep your fingers crossed. Can you see what I'm doing there? Sometimes a person will wish another person well. Okay, you're going to have an exam tomorrow, are you? I will keep my fingers crossed for you. I will keep my fingers crossed for you. It is an expression that means I wish you luck. I will be thinking of you during that time. To keep your fingers crossed is a way of hoping or wishing for something to go right. Some people, of course, are quite superstitious. They will sometimes carry a lucky charm. They will carry something with them that is supposed to give them luck, to help them, to give them some sort of encouragement. So I often think that things like a lucky horseshoe or maybe a four-leaf clover are types of lucky charm. Some people do. They will carry something with them. They will carry a lucky charm, something that they believe will bring luck. I think sometimes these things will help, but they only help because you believe it. Something you believe in quite often will happen. Or maybe if you have self-belief, you can achieve more things. This is something a lot of people say. There are many people who like to give advice, how to live, how to be lucky in life. And I suppose one of those things is self-belief, belief in yourself. I often read stories about people who've been successful or they have become successful. And I'm always interested to hear their stories. And quite often they will say that self-belief is what allowed them to be successful. I suppose at the end of the day, after all is said and done, the main rule is, in this world we must make our own luck. Luck doesn't just come. Sometimes you have to encourage good luck. Sometimes you have to work for it. Sometimes you have to wait for good luck to arrive. I'm sure everyone here right now has some experience of a moment of luck and a moment of bad luck. I know in my life, I won't bore you with the details, but in my life I've had good luck and bad luck. Things that have helped me and things that have been a problem. I think it is all part of this crazy thing we call life, to be honest. We are going to take a little break and then we will be back. We will be back in a few moments from now. And we are also looking at words and phrases today as well. Another subject waiting to be discussed in a few moments from now. So keep it here. This is English Addict and we are with you right now, live from England.
right now.
English Addict is with you today. It is Wednesday. I hope you are having a good day wherever you are in the world. And we are back together again. I hope everything is all right. Mr. Duncan is my name. English Addict is my game. That is what I do here on the live chat. Hello, can I say hello? I think I may have forgotten. Florence, we have Florence here. Palmyra is here. Hello also to Marilda. Hello, Marilda. Nice to see you as well. It's nice to see so many people here today. English with Kamel is here. Good afternoon, Mr. Duncan. Are you okay? I want to answer your last question that you posed last week. I have been teaching English since September 2006. I hope you enjoy your work. It is very good fun teaching. It is something that can give a lot of satisfaction to yourself, but also it helps other people as well. You can't ask for more than that when you think about it. We are going to take a look at another subject. We are now looking at the subject of stand as a word. The word stand, how it is used in sentences, phrases, certain words that go with it. We can also use. So here it comes. The word stand, and this is what we are doing for the rest of the live stream today. If I seem distracted, there is a reason for it. I won't tell you at the moment. I might tell you on Sunday, but at the moment I'm slightly distracted by something that's happening in my studio. Stand, words and phrases. The word stand can be a noun or a verb. So as a noun, a thing that is placed upright for support. You might have something that you use for support. That thing is a stand. So you might have something that you put on top of a pole. In my studio right here, I have a microphone stand, something for putting a microphone onto for support. So anything that is placed upright for support. You might say that a small table or something that is next to your bed could be described as a stand. It is where you put things. It is something that you use for support. So in that sense, we are using the word as a noun. Also, as a noun, a place where a display has been put out. So you might have something on display. You are showing something to other people. Maybe you go to a certain type of exhibition and you are putting everything out that you have or you've made. Or maybe you have a product that you want to sell or promote. You will have a stand. So that means the area where you are displaying things. You might have a stand at an exhibition show. As a verb, the action of being upright and on one's feet. Like me, one of the things I do, one of the things I love doing is standing up. Many people do say, Mr. Duncan, it's very unusual that you don't sit down. It is very unusual for me to sit. I do like to stand. I like to stand when I'm working. I like to stand when I'm presenting my live stream. So it is true, as an action, being upright and on your feet, to stand. So maybe you are standing, maybe you are getting up from a chair. So we can also use it as an action of movement as well. To move from a sitting position to being on your feet. You stand. We often say stand up. You stand. You go from a sitting position to a standing position. You are standing up. To stand up. To stand. So both of those phrases can be used to describe the action. You are upright on your feet. To stand up. To stand. You are standing. So as you can see, I've also included the adjective form as well, the adjective standing. So you appear standing as an adjective. To be on one's feet without moving. You stand. Quite often, soldiers, when they are standing to attention, upright, we can say that they stand. So that means that you are doing it, but you are not moving. The action is visible, but you don't have to be actually moving or doing anything. You stand. As a verb, to remain whole whilst all around has decayed or fallen. So you might find that something, after hundreds of years, is still standing. That thing will stand against time. It is standing against everything that is happening around you. All the other things have gone. There is only one thing left. It stands against everything else. Maybe a whole forest catches fire and burns, but there is still one tree, and that one still stands. It stands almost defiantly. Here's another one. You stand up to the weather or time itself. So it is possible to stand against something or stand up to something. You are facing it. You are facing that thing. You stand up to that particular thing. You can stand up to the weather. You can stand up to time, which means that you don't get old, or maybe something can last for a very long time indeed. It will stand forever. The word stand can be a noun or a verb, as I've mentioned already. The likelihood of something happening. So if something happens, you stand to gain something that might or possibly will happen. The likelihood of something happening. So you will possibly get that thing. That thing will possibly happen. You stand to gain something. Maybe you are selling your house and you are hoping to make a lot of money from that sale. You stand to gain a lot of money. So there is a likelihood of that thing actually happening. You might put yourself forward as an MP, for example, to put oneself forward for election in an election that's taking place in your local area. I will stand as your local MP. I will stand as your member of Parliament. Now, it is more usual for us to use this in British English. So a person who is putting themselves forward for election, we can say that they will stand for election. They will stand as your local MP. It means you are nominating yourself. You are putting yourself forward for that particular thing. You might be in support of an idea or group. You stand for truth and freedom. A person whose beliefs, or maybe their opinions or their feelings, they will stand up and they will defend those things. To be in support of an idea or group, you stand for that thing, that particular ideal. To describe an area with almost no available space. We've all been there. On a train, during the rush hour, everyone is trying to get home. Everyone is trying to commute on a bus or train, and there are so many people. We can say that there is standing room only. Standing room only. That means that there is very little space for people on the train or on the bus. It is standing room only. There are no seats available. It is very crowded. It is standing room only. So maybe you could be talking about your commute from work yesterday. It was standing room only on the train. That means there was very little room on the train. There were no seats available. There was very little space on the train. It was standing room only. To stay in place with no change. So something can be in a certain place without changing at all. For example, many people at the moment are suffering with the bad weather. Lots of rain has been falling. So in the garden at the back of my house, quite often we will get water that will not go away. It stays there. And quite often we will describe that as standing water. Standing water is water that will not go away. It is just there all the time. I suppose it's another way of saying that there is a flood. Maybe there is a large quantity of water that will not drain away. We can describe it as standing water. It will not go. It will stay there for a long time. There are, of course, some types of phrases. Some of these phrases are rather serious. Some of them do involve serious subjects. You might make a stand. If you make a stand, it means you fight back against aggression or injustice. You push back. You make a stand. You make a stand. You are willing to stand up and make your opinions known. Or maybe you want to defend something for a particular reason. and I suppose there are many reasons why you would do that, but you make a stand. You decide to stand up and be counted. There's a good phrase. A person who decides to stand up and be counted is a person who decides to put their opinions forward, maybe a certain thing that they feel strongly about. We can say that that person makes a stand. Here is another phrase, a very interesting one. Stand on your own 2 feet. Stand on your own 2 feet. To take care of yourself as an independent person. One of the first lessons we all have to learn in life. We can't live at home with our parents forever. At some point we have to step outside into the open world. And the first lesson you need to learn is to stand on your own 2 feet. To take care of yourself as an independent person. So I suppose you could say it's a useful phrase, but also it's a type of life lesson as well. You must learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You might stand your ground. To stand your ground is to defend yourself and your own beliefs against others. So if you stand your ground, you could say that you are defending yourself from attack or criticism. You decide to stand your ground. Perhaps you are being treated unfairly by someone. You decide to stand your ground. You will not be pushed around. Here's another phrase using the word stand. You stand out. This is something a lot of people say about me and my lessons. They say, Mr. Duncan, you really stand out from the crowd. You stand out. Your lessons stand out. Although these days, it's not very easy to stand out from the crowd, especially here on YouTube. To be obvious and easy to see, you might stand out from the crowd in a unique way. This means that you are obvious. You are easy to see. You are easy to notice. Perhaps you are walking down the road and you are wearing some very bright and extravagant clothing. We might say that you really do stand out from everyone else. Perhaps a person who has a lively character, you can say that they stand out. They really do stand out from the crowd. To stand up to something, to stand up to a certain thing, to be able to withstand something. So when we say withstand, it means you are able to hold that thing back. You can fight against it. You can prevent it from causing any damage. To stand up to something. Maybe you stand up, or a thing can stand up to bad weather. A type of house that is built in a special way, so it will stand up to earthquakes, or stand up to bad weather. Of course, a person will have to stand up to scrutiny. Now, there is an interesting word. At 8 minutes away from 3 o'clock, a very interesting word. Scrutiny. When we talk about scrutiny, we are talking about being observed closely. Something that is being looked at carefully. Scrutiny. A person is looking carefully. They are looking for things, certain things that might be good or bad. Scrutiny. So if a person can stand up to scrutiny, it means that they have nothing to fear. They have nothing to worry about. You can look as closely as you want without any worry. Another phrase, you might stand a chance. The possibility of something occurring. Do I stand a chance of getting the job? So again, we are looking at chance, the possibility of something happening. So when we say stand a chance, it means that something is possible. Yes, you do. You stand a chance of getting the job. Of course, we can also use the word in a negative way. So maybe you don't stand a chance. There is no possibility of it happening or occurring. You don't stand a chance. So in a positive way, you do stand a chance, and in a negative way, you don't stand a chance. Something that you can't stand. Oh, a lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, I can't stand Mr. Duncan. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. He's so annoying. It does happen. I know it seems unbelievable, but there are people who cannot stand me. Every week, when I start my live streams, there are people who are clicking around the internet, and then they see my face and they click away because they can't stand me. So if you have a strong dislike towards something, a strong feeling of dislike, we can say that you can't stand something. I can't stand being near my boss. I can't stand my boss. I can't stand the rain on my roof because maybe one day the water will start leaking through the roof and onto my lovely camera. I can't stand the rain. I'm sure that was a song. I can't stand the rain against my window, brings back sweet memories. Who was that? Who had a hit with that? I think it was, I want to say Eruption in the late 1970s. They had a big hit with that song. Finally, the past tense of stand is stood. Something you did. You stood there yesterday. I stood there yesterday, waiting for you to arrive. I stood there. In the past, it happened. I stood outside your house for over 1 hour, waiting for you to come out, but you didn't. I stood outside, waiting for you to arrive. So as you can see, there are many ways of using such a simple word. And that is one of the wonderful things about English. There are many words, many small words, words that might seem unimportant or trivial, small words. They can sometimes have lots and lots of meanings. I will be going in a moment. It's been a quiet one today on the live chat. I would imagine lots of people are busy on this Wednesday. Thank you very much to those who were joining me. Thank you very much. I always appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a lovely like. I know it's a pain I know it's awkward and difficult when people ask you to like, because everyone does it nowadays. All the publishers, all the people on YouTube, they will often ask you to give them a like. But there is a reason for it, because these are very important. They can actually help the person who is making the videos. It can help them a lot. Thank you very much for your company today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. We are back together on Sunday. Sunday is when I'm back with you. Hopefully, I will manage to catch up with my sleep, because I'm feeling as if I've missed quite a few hours of sleep because I stayed up the other night. But I do still feel vital. For those worrying, I still feel vital. I still have my vitality. So don't worry about that. It hasn't gone away anywhere. See you on Sunday. Of course, it won't just be me on Sunday. It will also be Mr. Steve as well on Sunday. He will be joining us on the live chat as well. I hope you will be here also as well. I hope so. Thank you very much for your company. See you on Sunday. We have lots of things to talk about on Sunday. We might be talking about the rendezvous for next year. Now, I was going to talk about it last Sunday, but unfortunately we still haven't made all of the plans. There are still some things we have to sort out. In fact, there is one big plan that we are sorting out in our own lives right here. We might even talk about that on Sunday. We will see what happens. Thank you for watching. This is Mr. Duncan in England saying, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, this live stream, and everything contained within it. And I will see you soon. And of course, until the next time, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care of yourself and ta-ta for now.